got for you. Let's talk to Sir Anthony Seldon, political historian and biographer. On the news as well, by the way, that there's a big press conference this afternoon with Donald Trump and Sir Keir Starmer. Many people in the Labour government worried about what the questions might be and whether it might be a bit humiliating for Keir Starmer, whose current approval rating has sunk to a new low of -50. Sir Anthony, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, I mean, you could see that Keir Starmer thought that perhaps Donald Trump's visit would give him some respite from the slings and arrows that he's been facing in government of the last couple of weeks. The resignation of Angela Rayner, the firing of Peter Mandelson, all the questions around that that are being asked in Parliament, and of course the problems with their new immigration policy, which seems to have shattered before their very eyes.
So, well, obviously yesterday was all about the royal family, and they've come out of it very strongly and shown the continued relevance of the royal family. I mean, to have the leader of the free world saying those things about the British monarchy, they matter. And for all some people's strong dislike in both the United States and in this country of him, you know, he is the democratically elected president. So his views matter, and that was high praise. Today, Mike, I mean, how will Keir Starmer do? If he is able, let's not prejudge it, if he is able to come away with some real benefits, perhaps not on steel tariffs, but something on tariffs, something further on tech, something further on a trade deal, and maybe some more supportive comments from President Trump about the Russian invasion of Ukraine and how important it is for the free world to stand up against the Russian leader. You know, those would be, Mike, really helpful. They're not going to solve all his problems, but they will help him. So let's see what happens. Equally, if it doesn't go well, that's you know, going to be another disappointment.
Yes, and I mean, how many more disappointments can he put up with, I suppose? Because before this visit, there were many commentators that I spoke to who more or less were saying he's finished, he's done. There's nothing he can really do to rescue the situation. Do you have a different view to that? So
I think that it's. I don't think it's good for Britain as a country. If we have another Prime Minister, that will be the 8th in just over 15 years. I mean, that's never happened in British history before.
We used to make fun of Italy, didn't we, for getting that many...
Oh, how we made fun of Italy.
I mean, I remember saying this. I went on holiday to Italy a couple of years ago, and I said to my family, I said, you know, when I used to come here as a child, we used to make fun of Italy because they had so many different changes of administration and so chaotic, and the country was kind of chaotic. But it seemed a lot calmer than Britain and a lot more better run than Britain now. So, you know, the situation's reversed.
Very rapid changes, whether football managers or Manchester United or you know, running not in the Premiership League, but the League of Premierships, Prime Ministers.
Yes.
It really doesn't help. Discontinuity, not a good look in Britain, not a good look abroad. But I think also, you know, it's hard. People are very angry and frustrated with him. Labour MPs very worried about reform. But will anyone do any better? And there's obviously Andy Burnham, there's Wes Streeting. Will they do any better? Who knows? I mean, you know,
unlikely, I would say.
I disagree with some of those commentators. I think he has a chance. He has a serious chance to prove himself, but he has to start doing the job a lot better and meeting people's needs and expectations.
Yes, I think so. Let's have a look at what Donald Trump said about the special relationship yesterday evening.
The British Empire laid the foundations of law, liberty, free speech, and individual rights virtually everywhere the Union Jack has ever flown, including a place called America. You know that place very well, don't you? His Majesty spoke eloquently about the bond which inspired Sir Winston Churchill, and the bust is in the Oval Office right now, the beautiful bust of Winston Churchill, to coin the phrase special relationship. But seen from American eyes, the word special does not begin to do it justice. We're joined by history and fate, and by love and language, and by transcendent ties of culture, tradition, ancestry.
And so a lot of people this morning saying to me, for the first time in a while, they felt rather proud to be British, which I think tells you everything you need to know about the state of the nation.
Yeah, I mean, the continuing relevance, Mike, of the royal family, derided by a lot of people. They want Britain to get rid of it. They want to make Britain a republic. Would that really help? Would the American president even have come to Britain if it wasn't that offer of a second state visit? Would he have come just to chat to the Prime Minister and get the hard business done? I think that it's very easy to underestimate, to be dismissive of the royal family, but that's 1,000 years of history there, and it shows very clearly the importance of the royal family.
And it's very impressive to watch. I mean, I watched it yesterday afternoon, and it's kind of mesmerising in a way. And the more you think about it, the less it can happen in any other country.
Well, absolutely. And other countries tend to do it around display of grisly weapons and troops. I mean, the troops yesterday didn't look blowing the instruments didn't look that menacing, and there were no weapons, large-scale weapons or nuclear weapons on display. So, yeah, I mean, Britain's sense of style, colour, history, continuity, so many of those traditions go back, well, hundreds of years. And I think continuity matters. And in a world that is changing so quickly, not least with digital and AI, that sense of who we are, where we've come from, continuity, what holds us together, what held us together in the past, is significant and important.
Yes, but it's not something, generally speaking, that you would say Keir Starmer actually believes in, because the last time he was speaking about the flag, for example, he was talking about how the flag represents diversity in Great Britain. Well, yesterday what we saw was not diversity in Great Britain, it was tradition in Great Britain, which happens to be slightly different. And I think most British people would say that that's the British flag that they recognise, you know what I mean? So Starmer comes to this kind of slightly modernising, let's pay some reparations for the terrible things the British Empire did world, which is where David Lammy is, which is where an awful lot of the government is as well. Whereas yesterday was all about the complete opposite of that, it seems to me.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was about hundreds of years of history, and also about the special relationship and the United States was they were colonies of Britain until 1776. 13 lonely colonies in a pretty cold, windswept parts of the West Coast, East Coast rather, of America. And so America came out of Britain. It was subordinate to Britain for much of the history of the country. And, it was a real sense. I think history matters, continuity, traditions matter. And I think countries where they lose them, I think they suffer. And it's much easier to destroy things than it is to honour them and to keep them going.
Yes, and that's why, again, the royal family's existence is a good kind of, shall we say, balancing method against a sort of what I would say is a quite radical government. If they could do what they wanted to do, they'd be doing some even more radical things.
Absolutely. Well, let's wait and see what happens. But you have there. We saw visibly the power yesterday of tradition and continuity in history, and how that is attractive to the most powerful man in the world, and how you could see on those pictures that you were showing there, Mike, how visibly moved he was by it. And I think that's really significant. And it helps British national interest.
I think so. Absolutely right. Sir Anthony, thank you very much indeed. Sir Anthony Seldon, political historian and biographer. You could see on Trump's face that this was something that money cannot buy, basically. Let's